Welcome to our introductory course about JavaScript. And what JavaScript does is it makes your website dynamic and interactive. You're going to be amazed at all the wonderful things that JavaScript can do when you apply it to your web page code. So in order to start writing JavaScript, you already probably have the tools necessary right within your computer. So if you're on a Windows machine, you're going to have Notepad already by default installed. If you're on a Mac, you should have TextEdit, and any one of these programs can allow you to create and write JavaScript, including HTML and CSS code as well. So all you have to do is save the files by the correct extension, and for JavaScript that's JS, and that gives you the ability to start writing JavaScript. In this course, I'm going to be featuring a number of tools that I'm going to be using in order to create JavaScript code. So I'm going to be using brackets. So this is an example of our brackets editor that I'm going to be using. So I've created a blank HTML page, index.html, created a blank script.js page, and I'm going to use these two together in order to demonstrate all the wonderful things you can do with JavaScript. Also, in regards to editors, there's also a really great online editor at codepen.io, and there's several other editors that are really good online. So I usually prefer to use CodePen, and one of the reasons I really enjoy using CodePen is that whenever you write something into HTML, CSS, or JavaScript, you see that displayed here on the right-hand side. And one of the really great things about JavaScript is that it's an interpreted language as opposed to being a compiled language. And that's why we have the ability to use any editor, and we don't actually have to do anything with the code, which just renders out within the browser. So the browser is the one that interprets the language, renders it out as indicated within the JavaScript or JavaScript files, and outputs it within the browser. So we don't have to do anything further. We don't have to be compiling the language and the source code in order to get it to run on our machines. So besides using CodePen, I'm also going to be using Chrome as my browser of choice. And one of the reasons that I do use Chrome is that it's a really great development tool. So this is right out of the box. It gives you the ability to do inspect. So open up your dev tools and you get all of these great resources which we're going to be looking at throughout the course. And predominantly we're going to be using console in order to send messages back and forth from our JavaScript code so that it's visible within the browser. And of course, if you already have an editor set up that you enjoy using, you can feel free to use that as well and practice the code that we're going to be presenting throughout the course. So when you're ready, set up your system and let's get writing some JavaScript code. So we're going to be introducing you to the first JavaScript code within the next lesson, and we're going to get you started quickly writing some JavaScript. So that's all coming up in the next lesson.